What's going on, everyone? In this video, I'll be taking a look at the time build that I'll be using in PvP moving forward. Now, if you guys are familiar with my content, I normally like to play tie-in and use bottom 2 striker, even though I've been having a blast with Void 3.0. But unfortunately, with Void 3.0 or just Void in general, I can't make use of a special perk that we all love and kind of crutch, and that is elemental capacitor. But I'll go into that a little bit more here in a bit. But pretty much bottom 2 striker, I'm going to be equipping Terran barricade so I can make use of those my shield, so I can get a res, survey the area, do a little recon and see where the enemy might be at, or just like peek in case like there's a lot of snipers. I'll be using a lightning aid in case somebody's around the corner, or I just want to force somebody out of their little corner or position. Pretty useful, especially when you get a cleanup kill. People don't really expect you to have a lightning aid, or just have like a regular grenade, like a pulse grenade or something else. But lightning aids are really strong, and I highly recommend you guys use it. Unfortunately, it does have a really high base cooldown compared to my other nades, but I do love my lightning nades, and I can lower the cooldown a little bit more, and I'll show you here in a bit. And the rest of the perks I'm not going to really go into. Pretty self-explanatory. Just melee people and regen health, proc, knockout, frontals, all that good stuff. Now for the shotgun, it is the Ragnhild D shotgun, which was recently nerfed, but was it really a nerf? It was just pretty much adjusted back down to how the other aggressive frame shotguns are pretty much within range. So I crafted mine, and just so you guys know, you have to get a red bar or red box on your shotgun to be able to craft it. Once you unlock that, you complete the, what do you want to call it? I think it's called the attunement progress. Once you attune it, it unlocks and you can craft. So definitely craft this shotgun if you haven't done so already. Now I got mine to level 20, which you can have some special, like pretty much you can mass work it, but you don't get the gold little box. But I crafted mine with full choke for that tight spread, for consistency, accuracy rounds for that range, and my new favorite perk for the season is called Steady Hands. Kills provide improved handling for all weapons for a short duration, so I can switch to my heavy, my secondary, and back to my shotgun within that a lot of time, which is like 8 to 9 seconds. So very useful. Now I went with enhanced elemental capacitor because for arc it increases handling, so it gives me almost max handling, 88, which is pretty nuts. But pretty much elemental capacitor gives you +4 if I recall correctly. And when I did the mass work for range, it boosted it up to +4, and the range went up from like 44 to like 53. So good little boost there, about 9+ range I think, or something like that. I'm not good at math, don't come at me. And yeah, I've been having a huge blast, and PvE tracker is almost 1500 kills, just to let you know guys know that I've been using consistently, and I realized I was on the wrong tracker. So back to PvP one, and Icarus grip is a personal preference, you know, for those air shots, but it really comes out to preference, to be honest. But for me, Icarus grip feels pretty good because I tend to jump a lot to get cleanup kills. And I'll just show you, I'll switch it to the sniper because when you go here, you craft for whatever reason, it doesn't let you do anything or review that craftable weapon. So again, you go to shotguns, click the shotgun, and you can choose your trades here at the bottom. You can see at the bottom left, you can choose your whatever like bonus stats you want, and I went with range. We can do handling, intrinsic here, which I think is the standard one. You get stability, reload, but yeah, I went with range. Has a lot of beneficial stuff here. I almost went with handling, but would have brought down my range a little bit harder. So that's the reason I went with range. And yeah, crafting it is pretty self-explanatory. Again, it is pretty pricey to do the enhanced perk, so just be cautious about that. 2000 natural or neutral elements. The mutable element is pretty expensive and does require ascendant alloy, so just keep that in mind. Now back to my build. We're going to be taking a look at Crisis Inverted. Dude, I love this hand cannon. I was about to say shotgun, but I love this thing. It has easily become one of my favorite hand cannons, and luckily I got a pretty good roll. I came with extended barrel for that 100 recoil direction, so pretty consistently goes up and down, boom 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 boom. It has high-count rounds, and honestly I would have, it doesn't really matter to me, but I would have gone with this, or I would have probably chosen ricochet rounds. Thirdly, it came with Demolitionist, which I'm still not sure if I want this perk or not, but honestly it's coming pretty handy because my base cooldown for my grenade is pretty high, as I mentioned previously. It is at 1 minute and 16 seconds. The base cooldown is 2 minutes and some change, so I can further enhance this with Demolitionist, getting kills and giving me pretty much grenade energy. Activating grenade ability reloads this weapon for reserves, so it's a pretty cool tool. You know what? Honestly, I just realized my hand cannon kept reloading when I kept throwing grenades, and now I know. Now, kill clip is another self-preference one. Otherwise, I would probably like prefer rangefinder, to be honest, for that extra range, because I do notice I lack in range, especially against adept palindromes. I get clapped by palindromes, by the way, but getting that kill clip proc is amazing. People don't expect it, and you just clap them. And my range masterwork, I really love that. Extra boost in range there, lead +10, and I'll be using Icarus grip for those air shots. It is a adaptive frame, so you know it's pretty well-rounded grip, reliable, sturdy. But yeah, overall the stats are pretty good. I highly recommend you guys go for one and attune it to your like preference and taste. The shader is Carbon Blood, and I think this one is Biolume. I was gonna say Vileplume, the Pokemon. And my heavy is really, honestly, I change a lot through my heavies. I change between Memory Interdict and any other rocket launcher such as Warcliffe Coil or Galahorn. Now here comes the tricky part. My armor stats, I'm gonna be focused on obviously my targeting mods or my hand cannon, which is the targeting, reloader, and unflinching. Everything else is kind of self-preference at the end of the day. And I have my scabs and my powerful friends, what do you call it, Radiant Light on my chest piece. So just to give you guys a little overview, taking charge with high energy fire, when I pick up orbs, I get boosted damage, which is very useful, as I can do some serious damage. I can easily 2-tap with kill clip, so very useful. Radiant Light boosts strength, and it also has some extra juicy stats that are hidden. Casting your supers causes nearby allies to become charged with light. So they also have to have Radiant Light, so just keep that in mind. So it might not work all the time. Quick charge pretty much gives me that 100 handling. You become charged with light by rapidly defeating multiple combatants with shotguns, which I'm not really focused on that one, but I'm really focused on a secondary. Greatly increases the ready speed of fusion rifles, shotguns, and some machine guns and swords. So really useful, especially with shotguns with low handling. And as I'm pairing this with elemental capacitor, I get that really juicer handling. It should be 100 to be sure, like 12 off. Lastly, powerful friends that boost in mobility. I don't really need it, but I mainly use it for like the primary perk. When you become charged with light, nearby allies also become charged with light if they are not already. So very useful, especially in trials when it comes down to like the 4-4 matches. Now my overall like stats, I still want to fine tune them, as I have some wasted stats with mobility, a little bit with resilience, and an intellect. Now mobility doesn't really matter for tie-in, you know, increases your movement speed and maximum height, which is, you know, self-preference at the end of the day. Resilience is really key for tie-ins, as it kind of dictates when your shield comes back. So for me, the sweet spot 6. I would really prefer to have 7, but I'll fine tune that, you know, as time goes on and get better armor. Recovery is always going to be 100 for me, so I can get back into those engagements a lot faster. And discipline is going to be at tier 6. Now I'm not too focused on tier 6, but I would prefer tier 7. But with my crisis averted being demolitionist, or having demolitionist, it generates my grenade energy a lot faster. Now intellect, I'm still iffy on this one as well, because the tier 8 super is 7 minutes and 24 seconds, and with all these Void 3.0 supers coming around the corners, you know, they generate a lot faster than you, like a whole 2 minutes. And that's if they're using bubble or tether. So that's also taking into consideration they're, you know, getting kills, doing damage, and all that good stuff. But personally, I really haven't had much issues, as I feel comfortable getting, you know, kills, securing kills, and all that stuff. And lastly, for the last one ability is going to be strength at tier 5. It's going to be 1 minute and 60 seconds to regain my melee, which I never really had any issues, to be honest. But that's just my preference. You know, everybody's gonna have their own juicer or gooser stats that they prefer over anything else. But yeah, in summary, probably prefer my resilience and my discipline to be tier 7. So hopefully with Arc 3.0, I'm gonna be able to modify that a little bit better. And my appearance and customization, I don't know if you guys care, I'm basically using Rustberry shader for all my stuff. I tend to change my stuff a lot. Before I was using Jackarina, as you can see Jackarina on my time mark. And here's the helmet, my arms, chest piece, legs, like they're pretty forward, you know. Got my Doom crutch and my knee mean mark. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Not much to it. If you guys enjoyed the video, gain some knowledge, and what's up to my fellow Titan mains. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.